Involvement in sports is a crucial component of a student's successful high school career. Although many believe that sports tempt kids into believing that it's okay if they don't like math or writing, that there is another path to glory, sports provide many beneficial qualities to create a well-rounded education. Besides the obvious physical fitness, extracurricular activities teach adolescents life skills, social skills, as well as improve their mental health. Parents often oppose sports for their children out of fear that their child's plate will become too full. While sports can be a very large commitment for full-time students, it teaches children skills that will be constantly used in daily activities throughout their life. Sports require responsibility from its athletes. High schoolers reach a point where they can no longer be codependent, so it is crucial for them to learn personal responsibility early on. Remembering to pack all necessary equipment is essential for sports. Regardless if they are attending their soccer game, their job at Wendy's, or school, students need to learn how to show up prepared. Student athletes must also learn time management. Some sports cause conflicts with classes and homework, so students must be able to prioritize their to-do list. Games commonly require students to leave class early in order to arrive on time. Coaches encourage their students to meet with their teacher prior to missing class so the student won't become behind in his or her schoolwork. The Georgia High School Association Constitution and bylaws for 2015-2016 state that in order to be eligible to participate, practice, and/or try out in interscholastic activities, a student must be academically eligible. A student is required to pass classes that carry at least 2.5 Carnegie units, counting toward graduation the semester immediately preceding participation. For most schools, 2.5 units are equivalent to 5 classes. Students often use bus rides as a time to study and finish homework to avoid academic ineligibility. Students who have to juggle classes, sports, and a job will learn to appreciate the extra minutes in a day that other people let pass them by. So while some argue that sports distract from schoolwork, all could argue that sports add pressure for a student to excel in school. Teamwork is imperative to any group activity. Being able to communicate with peers and adults is a fundamental skill that can be gained through the experience in sports. Throughout life, students will run into situations with people who are difficult to work with. A student's involvement in sports teaches them to address these situations appropriately and understand how to handle conflict. Also, discipline is quickly instilled in athletes by their coaches, thus teaching them the correct way to act in different areas of life. Good sportsmanship becomes very relevant in athletics. Throughout the season, teams will experience wins and losses. Students must learn how to humbly accept triumph and be gracious in defeat. The Anxiety and Depression Association of America found that regular participation in aerobic exercise has been shown to decrease overall levels of tension, elevate and stabilize mood, improve sleep, and improve self-esteem. According to an Icelandic study, students with a moderate level of sports involvement, 3 to 6 hours per week, was associated with less depression as compared with a low level of sports involvement, 2 hours or less per week. The same research shows that athletes have better relationships with their parents, even though teenagers tend to distance themselves from their families. Also, high school students' hormones are overactive, causing extreme emotions that they are unsure how to handle. Public School Review recognizes that athletic offers teens a physical outlet to exert their troubles, anger, and emotions. Perhaps the most important benefit of sports involvement is enhancing college applications. College Board encourages students to get involved because the things you do in your free time reveal a lot about you in ways that grades and test scores can't. Student athletes are not hindered by sports, but rather benefited by exercising their mind as well as their body.